Platin has joined me for a conversation. Kwesi, thank you for your time this afternoon. So you have had cause to say on social media that what we're hearing is fake. What is fake about this?
All right, good afternoon to you and your viewers. Let us understand that as of now, if you read the whole rate and of course all the entire proceedings that came out from court, you understand that what came out in respect of the $18 million is much in relation to the verdict of the jury of the court, and that does not necessarily translate into, say, the judgment of the court, properly so called. So when the news is spun around and make it appear as though the court itself has decided in their final judgment that indeed Mr. KEN Agyapong has been slapped with a fine or damages of $80 million, that cannot be sustained and that cannot be true, and it can at best be described as misinformed or fake. We must understand that at every point there is a difference between the verdict of a jury and also that of the judgment of the court. Of course, I do agree that in many instances and in many jurisdictions, the court mostly adopts the verdict of the jury as own judgment. But within this context, we must also understand that an issue of mistrial has also been raised by the lawyers of KEN Agyapong, which the court has now given 30 days to rule on that.
Right.
So that also shows that there is a hallowed injunction, properly so called, on even the verdict of the jury, and therefore at this point there is no judgment.
So your understanding is that the court has not given a judgment, even though the jury has arrived at this verdict, that is the $18 million charges against KEN Agyapong. And you say that until the court gives or agrees with the jury. But you admitted that in most instances, or as has been the case, we get the court adopting the verdict of the jury. How different is this?
Yes, but you see, you must understand that, you see, the jury operates based on defined instructions from the judge or the court. Within this particular context, the jury did not strictly go by the instructions of the court, because the subsequent day when the court has sat and they wanted to determine the punitive damages on the defendant, which appears to be Mr. KEN Agyapong, the jury reiterated that they've already added it to the actual and the compensatory damages. And the court was very clear that that was not the direction and the instruction of the court. It was at that point that the lawyers of the Honorable KEN Agyapong also rose up to then file the mistrial, even though the court also indicated that they have to do that through a written application. The point is that that issue of mistrial has been raised. So as of now, practically and properly so called, we can make a case that even the verdict of the jury has been hallowedly injuncted, because as of now, we even have to make a determination on the mistrial before the court can even move ahead to consider same.
So are you saying that
the court declares that indeed there has been mistrial because the jury did not properly follow the instruction? It means that we have to start the entire trial or proceedings once again. But of course, the other option is that the court may also even throw away the application of the lawyers of Mr. KEN Agyapong. That will only means that the jury has only arrived at a verdict, and it will now be left upon the court to now make a final determination on the verdict by adopting it as a judgment of the court.
Right. So then, Kwesi, where lies the fake factor here?
Come again?
I'm asking, where does the fake factor come in here?
Yes, the fake is in regards to how the story has been spent and propagated as though there has been a judgment.
Because I have heard, I have heard from lawyers of ANAS.
Misinformation is fake.
Kwesi, can you hear me? I've heard from lawyers from ANAS, and they have indicated that, well, this is the case. And they have even given indication that even if the court grants that the amount be slashed, they are also going to trigger processes to ask for 5 times whatever amount is arrived at.
I don't think that is a contention. The contention here is whether or not the court had made a final judgment, and the final judgment has not been made. The verdict of the jury does not necessarily translate into a final judgment, especially when there are even contention on the verdict of the jury.
Right.
So that cannot be construed as a final judgment. As to whether or not the court will adopt same and even all the consequential litigation or issues that will come out, that is a subject for the future. But for now, there has not been any judgment properly so called.